Hi everyone. Today I'm going to try to be doing like a freestyle set of nails. I don't really have a plan, but I have a goal, and that is to use up some of these flower charms. I have so many of them. I want to do like a yellow blue situation. Maybe some glitter. So let's just like freestyle it and see what we get up to. Hopefully it turns out okay. So today I'm using the Soft Gel XII Almond Short. I'm making these for a friend of mine who has itty bitty little nails. I really like the Almond Short. I think they work really great. So we're, of course, taking our, nail file and buffing off the little nubs at the end from where they're put on the form. And then my friend also has like really like very rounded cuticles on her thumbs. So I'm just taking it and I'm pre-rounding the cuticle so that the nail fits better. Totally recommend doing this if you want it to look seamless and a lot nicer. This is what you got to do. And of course, now we're just going to buff the shine off the nail because that'll make the nail gel adhere and it won't chip or flake off. So let's just buff, 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 buff. You want to do this with all of your nails that you're doing. You want them to be as like super matte before you start. That's super important. So once we got these all buffed, the last step we got to do before we start making nail art is we got to wipe off all the dust with a little alcohol. I'm using 99% isopropyl alcohol. I hear, because that's just, I hear there's like 97 that people use, but I buy mine at the dollar store and it's 99%. So that's what I do be using, and it works great. So let's get these all done up, and we are ready to start painting some nails. So I'm going in with this Jello JJ31. Now that I'm like in doing the voiceover and thinking back, I could have probably gone with a less, like a more pastel yellow. I think would have actually worked better with this set, but hindsight 2020, that whole thing. I really wanted to do like a jelly center on these nails that I'm doing. I also realize now that the way I'm doing this, it could have been better, but I'll explain more later. So I'm doing yellow on the ring, the middle, and the thumb here. So I'm going to do like a frame around it so that it's, the jelly yellow shows off. And then I wanted to do like a dark blue, but I didn't really have a dark blue jelly. So what I'm using is the Rosy Hip RM09, which is a magnetic polish. And then I'm just going to demagnetize it so it forms like a nice sort of dark blue. Again, I feel like this set would have probably worked out better if it had been pastel. This is future, having already done the nails, thinking to myself, this would have been better as a pastel set. But you know what? This is the way you learn, is by, making little mistakes. And then once you got that all demagnetized by running a magnet over the top, you're gonna stick it in for a full cure. So I don't know why I did this. I wanted the yellow, I guess, to be more yellow. So I'm putting another layer of the Jello. This is from the Mingle collection, which is a really nice, like dark, like sort of autumnal jelly collection. And I really do like it, but I don't know why I thought some spring nails would benefit from it. I was on some other level when I was making these, I swear. But this is what we did. So we're gonna be slightly out of frame as usual, and put the yellow down, and then we're gonna send it in for another cure once that's nice and covered. And then for the blue, I'm putting from the Yoga Mayo YMGO5 from the Angel Core collection, which is like a nice sheer glitter collection because I wanted these to be glittery. So we're putting some of that down. I do think this blue glitter combo would work really nice for some like space themed nails, like maybe marble and a little bit of like black, like sheer black in there too. but we're doing floral nails. And like this set, we're going to do a frame now using the more multi-liner white because it's just like a very opaque white that'll really color the yellow. Now, if I had been smart, I think I would have actually started with the white frame and then just done yellow in the middle. So I'm going around and I'm marking out because I wanted the outsides to be fully white. Like I wanted to make like a little frame situation, and I think it would have turned out a lot nicer if I had just done the white first and then put like a, you know, maybe even just glitter in the center. I think would have been a much nicer look, but you know, hindsight 2020, as I said, so isn't that always the way? So I'm going in with a check brush here because it filled in nicely, and I'm just filling in the white so that it has a nice opaque white frame around the, like making sort of like a central, like a cameo style situation I thought would look nice. And like in the defense of these nails, even though I am sort of being like, this isn't my greatest freestyle set of all time, like I think they are cute. Like they're not, you know, unwearable nails. It's just, I feel like, you know, looking back, I think if I had made different choices, it would have been nicer. So I'm doing frames on all three of the yellow nails, and we're going to stick that in with the glitter nail to cure. And now I'm going in with another Angel Core one, the Yogo Mayo YMG02. And first I was like, okay, I'll just put it over the, you know, a little pinkish frame over the white. And then I was like, wait a second, I think it would look good if it was all glitter. So then I very quickly give up on just doing the frame while I'm just considering this, carefully painting on the frame, and go, you know what? I think maybe now that I'm looking at it again, just going over the whole thing. Like I really go a long time thinking I'm just going to do it over the frame. And then it's at this point that I'm like, no, actually, I think glitter over the whole thing will work out nicely. Adds like a light, I see the pastel pink really looks nice here. So I feel like I should have just gone with full pastels, but you know, these are still cute-ish nails, so it's fine. So we're going in and we're just doing a nice glitter cover over the whole nail now, because I've realized that actually looks a lot better and is more cohesive. And then we're going to put that in for a full cure. Now we're pulling it out again and we're doing a second coat because I wanted a bit more of a pinker color over the white. Now you notice that the blue nails look matte. I didn't like buff them or anything. I just rubbed them down with alcohol between, you know, edits because I'm going to do something else on them and it's easier on a matte surface. So we're doing a second layer of glitter here and we're sticking them back in for a cure. So now I'm going with the Maffa Nails Metallic Gold Liner. I need to get a better gold liner. This is just some cheap stuff, but it does the job. So you got to stir it up. With most like metallic gels, they separate, so you really do got to stir it up before you start. Now I'm going in with a short liner brush. This is the Yogo Mayo, really Yogo Mayo moment today. Short liner. Yogo Mayo is one of my favorite brands, my favorite Korean brands. And I'm going in and I'm outlining the frame in some gold. And going out of frame, as is my usual situation. And we're going to be doing this gold frame on every single one of these nails. I promise that one day I will learn how to film things so I'm centered in frame. I always tell myself I'm going to, and then end up right here's where I realized I've been going way too high up. We're going to go around the edge of the blue nails because we want the gold to sort of tie these two sets of nails together because the colors are vastly different here. So I'm just going around the entire outline of the blue nail with this. And this is not too difficult to do. And I find it always looks really nice. And dark blue and gold is really such a nice combo together. And then after you've got sort of the outline done, so this is the second nail that I'm finishing the outline for, I also wanted to add just like a little smile line where I start in the center and then just pull it towards the outline and then do the same on the other side. We're not going to fill in the smile line. It's just going to be like a framed smile line situation. So that is going to be the gold accents on these nails, which is probably the most difficult thing to do for these nails because, you know, keeping a steady hand, I'm not even that good at it, but they turned out cute. So you want to fully cure that. And now we're going in with the little stars. These come in like 2 sizes in the one I have. I've had these for like 2 years, this container, and I'm always like, what am I going to do? Like, I have so many. I also have them in like colored versions, but I'm using the white versions today because the colored versions, which are nice pastel colors and would have worked really nice with a pastel situation, just did not match any of these colors. So I'm going in with some of the white ones and my Jinbei Ivy Fix Gel with the nice rhinestone gel, and I'm just sticking a couple of these little flowers just where I think they look nice. Some of the big ones and some of the little ones. And you can basically put them wherever you like on the nail. They end up looking cute no matter where you put them. So I'm doing like little clusters. So on the bigger nails get little clusters and the smaller nails get just like individual ones. It is sticking to my little set of tweezers here. But eventually got it. Got a little cluster and then like a little individual one. And then for these ones, I'm putting one just along on top of the little smile line because I think that'll look pretty cute. Putting down a dab of the rhinestone glue and then sticking down a little flower. And we're going to do the same thing on the other one, but I think with a bigger flower. And then once you've got those all on there, stick that in to cure. You can also flash cure if your rhinestone glue is less, is like not as thick and things move. So now I'm taking a little bit of the yellow gel and a little bit of the blue gel. And we're going to like sort of add a little bit of color to these flowers so that they're not just like white and not really matching anything, because flowers aren't generally just one plain color, right? So I'm just going in and I'm just sort of dabbing some yellow in the middle, and so that they sort of have a, you know, and then a little bit towards the petals, because flowers tend to be a little darker. Like, you know, there's like a gradation of color to them. So I'm doing some of the flowers in yellow, and then some of the flowers in blue, because that'll really tie, you know, the colors. It'll make the colors unite a bit more. So we're going in with some blue now. And I think this step here, you know, adding the blue and the yellow, not only made the design much more cohesive, but it actually makes these charms look less like you bought them on AliExpress. It really brings out a bit of the, you know, life to them. And now I'm adding a bit of glitter on top. I'm using the same glitters as before from the Angel Core collection. Everything I use I will have linked down below if I still have access to a link for them. And so the yellow flowers are getting some of the pink glitter, the blue flowers are getting some of the blue glitter. Though really it's like the glitter is so sheer, it doesn't really matter. And then before I cure it, I'm actually going to be sticking a little gold caviar bead into the center of every single one of these flowers to be sort of like the stamen or whatever on the inside. You're just picking them up and sticking it right in the middle, and the glitter is going to sort of act as a ersatz rhinestone glue, so I don't have to do another step because we're going to top coat over it anyway. So once you got the gold little center in there, stick it in for a full cure. And that's essentially these nails, because all we have to do is top coat them now. As usual, I'm using the Jim Beat Crazy Top. I'm going with the standard this time, since we're going to be covering all of the, you know, the little plastic and charms and the metal beads in there. And so you just want to cover up everything, make sure everything is nicely top coated. You, especially around plastic charms, would like to add like top coat so that it seals in any, you know, like gaps or anything, which is why the standard, I prefer it over the soft for this sort of nail. Because if you have any gaps and things, it can stick, you know, you can get your hair caught in it. It can, you know, you don't want to be ripping out your hair because you have nails on. That's no bueno. So once you've got everything all top coated, what I like to do, and I do recommend, is to take your nails and flip them upside down for like 15 to 25 seconds so that any sort of gel that is self-leveled towards the sides moves back towards the middle. So it like reinforces the apex and it doesn't make the sides of your nails as bulky. And then once you're good, everything is looking nice. Make sure you haven't missed any. Stick it in for a full cure. And that's these nails done. They're very easy. And I think if you put your own colors on them, that might work a bit better than these colors. They might actually turn out even way better than these. But I think these are very cute and I hope my friend likes them. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. I will be back soon with another video. And I hope you have a fantastic week. And let me know what you thought of these nails. And I'll see you next time. Bye!